back to the Cemore Showdown Behind the Showdown podcast here. We've got our special guest co-host, Ethan Graham, here with us.
Hey, good to be here.
And then our normal host, Ian, Hunter, Logan, and Will.
I want the jumbo shrimp.
You want the jumbo shrimp hat?
Yes.
Well, you shit the bed this week, so I don't know. I feel like because you lost to one Ethan Graham this week.
Well, he won. He beat me in a matchup.
Well, to put things into perspective, Ethan beat you 189 to 146. You scored less than the guy who, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know, the guy who you're all seeing on screen is dead last in the league. He scored 100. He scored 158. Will scored 148.
Well, excuse me for my pitching to shit the bed this week again.
Negative points. Negative points.
Okay, so we're gonna get started here. So real quickly, so a quick tribute to Will. He's dead last, and he's not coming. He's not coming back. Up here are so right now as of week 15. I did the math. Everybody, don't you worry. Here are the division, or here's the playoff picture. At least as of right now, anyway. And I don't really see this changing a whole lot. But, I mean, you know, who the fuck knows at this point? It's kind of going either way. Ethan moved up a couple spots. Oh, shit. What the hell is that? Oh, no. What the hell's going on? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, Christ.
You're such a cunt.
Ian, I think
you like boys.
I think Ian's record looks like the Bears' record every year.
You like boys.
It's true, it does.
Oh boy, you have no idea
What?
how long I've
No.
waited to do this.
Oh my god.
The cringe is unmatched.
I'm cringing.
Yeah.
What is this shit?
This is hurting all of my insides.
Hunter, this is just cringe that you should just laugh at.
Oh, it is not
will say,
cringe.
though,
We call that art, I believe. Oh
the
my
George
god.
Bush one was fantastic.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh boy. You guys, I came up with that. I'm not joking. 20 minutes ago. Like, and I put this all together in like 20 minutes. Like, which to be fair was not a lot of work, but so now that Hunter's ribbing has rightfully come, we will start with all-star ballots this week because the all-star voting was this week. Did everybody vote as good Americans should?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, of
No.
course.
Protested.
Why? Oh my god. You protested the ballot
I wrote in.
because Eric Thames can't be on it.
Yep.
He wrote
Prince
Ron
William.
DeSantis in for shortstop.
I did. Yep. Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley were wrote in on my ballot for the MLB All-Star game.
Unironically, I'd like to see if you should do that just to see
You
it
can't,
show up, like,
I will do that.
you can't write in people, unfortunately.
Dang it.
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I think you could.
Yeah, on MLB.com you can.
No, I didn't know that. I would have
Yeah.
wrote in Kyle Hendricks.
All right.
Known home run give upper.
Yeah.
I would have written in
Batting
I would
practice.
have wrote the entire 2019 Riverside Junior Senior High School team.
Okay.
Because we were all stars, Ethan, weren't we? That whole team.
Not even close. We were dog water. We were trash.
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't think we
God.
won a single game.
Oh my, yeah. Oh geez. No, we won two. We won two games.
Oh my! Out of what?
Like, I don't know.
13.
Hey, Will. Quick question: what are you dropping? Why'd you drop Francisco Alvarez? He's good. Okay, you know what? I don't know why I even said that. You go ahead, drop him. Thanks, Will. Thank you.
What are
Thanks
you
for another
doing,
great.
Will?
Thanks for another great player, by the way, Jonathan. Thanks for Jonathan India, and thanks for Francisco Alvarez of the New York
AJ,
Mets.
since I've given up, I'll accept your trade.
That's not my trade. I'm not
No,
trading
he's
for
not.
Corbin
No,
Burns.
that's my trade.
Yeah,
Oh,
the guy who
you're-
just got the guy who. By the
AJ.
way, what?
I
It's also a
object
decent
because
trade
I have
anyway.
to play Hunter this week.
You do?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Hunter's team is good, so I'm gonna vote yes on Corbin Burns just so he beats you. But
It's also a
But
fair trade anyway. Like
No,
That's a-
okay, Hunter, you're 5-8. What the hell is the point?
there's chance.
You know what? I'm gonna say no, just because you're 5-8.
Oh,
no,
damn.
don't say no for that reason.
Yeah,
Say no because
Ian.
you think it's not a fair trade. Don't be a dick.
No, don't give him Corbin Burns, Ian.
Okay, I won't.
Give him Corbin Burns, Ian.
Give him
You
Corbin
could give him
Burns.
Zach Gallen. I don't give a shit about that.
No, he doesn't have Zach Gallen. The man
Oh, yeah.
who's mathematically eliminated from the playoffs does.
You want
Oh,
to take
yeah.
a Kyle Hendricks?
In the greatest segment of
Ian, you
any
should pick
show
him
that's
up.
ever been made, where I totally which by the way, I showed that to Will before. I told Will, like, is this funny? And Will was like, yeah, it's really funny. And I was like, you better not fucking laugh while I'm doing talk, because it's gonna be hard enough for me not to do it. All that talking, because like I told myself if I beat Hunter, I was gonna rip him on this somehow, and I came up with how I was gonna do it 20 minutes ago. But
Fucking loser.
so I'm gonna pull up my ballot real quick, and we'll just kind of show it here. So my ballot this year was for the American League, which I originally had to change it because all you threw a huge fit when I did my first one. So we have Ryan Mountcastle, Jose Altuve, Louis Regifno, Gunnar Henderson. Did I stutter?
Not only did you stutter, you fucked it up royally.
Listen,
Again.
only liberals can try to pronounce someone of color's last name, okay? So I don't even want to hear you try.
What?
What? That's the rules. Don't you know? That's how it works.
Okay.
Gunnar Henderson at short, Aaron Judge outfielder, Tyler O'Neill, a controversial pick, outfielder, Matt Vierling, other outfielder, Adley Rutschman. I did it because I wanted Hunter to speak to me again. David Fry at designated hitter. And then thank God not hurt for very long, Bryce Harper at first base for the National League, Jonathan India at second, Alec Baum at third, Ellie De La Cruz at short, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. as one of the outfielders, Jared Kelenic, because I like the Braves and I wanted at least one Brave on there, as my second outfielder. My third is Christian Yelich, with the catcher being Wilson Contreras and the DH obviously being Shohei Ohtani, everyone's favorite bookie.
Oh my god.
So I figure because so Ethan and Will, I'm assuming you two guys did not do one.
No, I did do my ballot.
Ooh, okay, cool. So Will, since you did not do yours, is there any player on here that you feel should not be on here just because you didn't do one? So let's see. Let you critique mine.
Why am I on the fucking chopping block?
Because you didn't do
No.
it, dipshit.
I think everyone that's on there deserves their position. I think that they're doing a pretty good job. So, but
Fair enough. I mean,
So AJ,
what?
you put Luis Rengifo over Jose Ramirez.
Yeah,
How?
How?
because
Explain to me.
okay, so over the last, so I kind of based it off a couple of things. Rengifo over the last like month and a half or so, like he's been pretty solid. I believe his last month was like 300 to 400 average batting wise. So I mean, again, he's been like a staple on my team for a month now until I traded him for I forget the pitcher's name, but the Phillies relief pitcher that
Jeff
I traded for with Logan. Yeah, like I traded I traded with him for him because Rengifo's probably getting traded somewhere at the deadline, but we just don't know where yet. And I think he's been pretty solid. He can play. He plays a ton of positions. I mean, at least fantasy wise, like he's been hitting pretty solid the last month. So like, it's pretty much just a recency bias because
over
usually
even besides the recency bias, Jose Ramirez recently has been one of the best hitters in baseball.
That's fair.
His OPS is like 1 point something almost.
Well,
with
I mean,
20 home runs.
That's fair. I mean, I still picked Rengifo because I think over the last month he's shown the most improvement from the start of the season, and he's been on fire. And I think he deserves that spot because of that alone. And I mean, but again, that's just me though. Like, I wouldn't blame you guys if you felt differently because I basically based mine off of like because I put like Ellie De La Cruz and Jonathan India are two purely not Ellie De La Cruz, but more Jonathan India is definitely more recency bias, like more than anything really. So like I based a lot of mine off of like recency bias a bit just because like I know the players and I know how well they've been doing, and I think because of that they deserve a spot on the team. Just kind of shake things up just a bit. I like to be controversial. Plus, because does Jared Kelenic really deserve to be on there? Probably not. But he's the leadoff hitter for the Braves. He's been doing awesome lately, and I felt like he deserved that shout out. So it's more like that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so then why don't we head on over to Hunter? Hunter, why don't you show us your
I don't have a
ballots.
picture of it, but I will tell you because the one that I did was very biased. But like a real one would be Adley as catcher, Jose Altuve, Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Stephen Kwan, Ryan Mountcastle at first, Jose Ramirez, Yordan Alvarez, and then for the NL, it would be William Contreras, Ketel Marte, Mookie Betts, but it's probably going to be Trey Turner because Mookie's hurt, Jurickson Profar, Christian Yelich, and Tatis. Bryce Harper's already in, Alec Boehm, Shohei Ohtani. And those are my all-stars. It's pretty much what the list is, but those are all the guys who deserve it and are going to probably be the starters.
Yeah, but if Hunter could, he would put every single Baltimore Oriole in the American League side of the ball.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, first of all.
I mean, am I right? Am I wrong?
Okay, my bias one may or may not have had most of them, but it wasn't all of them. It was just the ones that I actually feel like kind of deserve it.
I guess that makes
sense. I know
but...
Westberg. I know Westberg's not going to get over Ramirez, but I think he should be a sub. Yordan Alvarez is just too big of a name to not get in over O'Hearn, even though O'Hearn's one of the best hitters in the league right now.
Yeah.
But Adley deserves to be a starter. He's the best catcher in baseball. Gunner's the best shortstop, maybe besides Mookie Betts, but I still feel like it's probably 1A, 1B.
Well, it's pretty much also because Mookie Betts shattered his left hand.
R.I.P.
to Logan.
It's also NL versus AL. So
true. Well, I know that, but I'm saying Mookie's. I would have voted Mookie if he hadn't screwed Logan over. I did it purely out of spite because
he didn't
Mookie
screw me over.
He could have played through that broken hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that didn't.
Pretty soft, if you ask me, not being able to play through a broken hand. Adley Rutschman got hit in the hand, still hit a home run.
Now,
I'm just
objectively,
saying.
It was probably not as hard.
Nope.
Because it was just a foul tip versus 95 off the knuckles.
He's a huge pussy. It's because he plays in LA.
There
all
you
those
go.
Damn liberals.
There's the bias coming out.
Exactly.
I'm sure Mookie's a pussy, even though he has played through injuries.
As one of the greatest signs of all time said, Mookie Betts eats corn the long way. So
What the fuck?
yeah, there was a sign in San Diego one year and it just said
That
Mookie Betts eats corn the long way.
okay? Is that like a sex insinuation? I'm
Yeah,
assuming it is. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I thought because like I was like we live in Nebraska. I've never heard that phrase, but I assumed it was sexual innately because it's probably a dig at Mookie. So especially because it's San Diego and it's the Padres. Fucking hate the Dodgers, but okay. So Ethan, we will go to you next. And real quick, why don't you introduce yourself right before introduce yourself? What sports did you play and your favorite sports teams?
Okay. My name's Ethan Graham. I'm currently a exercise physiology student up at BYU Idaho. In high school, I played softball and football. Not softball, baseball and football. I'm in a softball league currently on a men's competitive softball team. What else? For the MLB, my team of choice is the Giants, San Francisco Giants. And for the NFL, my team of choice is the Green Bay Packers. What else? What else do you need to know about me?
Boo.
Other than that, Logan's a Bears fan, and Logan, you until Caleb Williams throws for until Caleb Williams throws, how many yards is it? What's the most a Bears
25.
quarterback has thrown?
He
Yes.
has to throw over like 3,000 yards.
Okay, when he throws over 3,000 yards, you get to boo the Packers.
We've never had a 4,000-yard passer.
Dude, the Packers give birth to quarterbacks who throw over 3,000 yards. Just like,
Oh yeah.
but
Sean
okay,
Clifford.
so what?
Besides Sean Clifford.
He's back
Okay,
up.
all right, but Brett Favre,
Better
Aaron
than Jordan
Rodgers,
Love, right, Ian?
and Jordan
What?
Love will probably be in
I
that
said
club
better
too.
than Jordan Love.
Oh my god. One of our friends actually said that one time, like before the season started last year, but he actually thought that Sean Clifford was going to be better than Jordan Love. So, yeah, that's an inside joke.
Oh, okay, so Ethan, why don't you tell us your All-Star ballot for baseball this year?
Okay, I'll go first base, second down to third. So for my first, I have Ryan Mountcastle and Harper, of course. Second, I have Jose Alvarez.
Altuve,
Dude,
Alvarez.
I'm
No,
I'm
it's
white.
Alvarez.
I'm white as shit, guys. I can't say these names.
Dude, we lived in a mainly Mexican town for like 3 or 4 years. You'd think we'd be better at
AJ's
this.
Dude, AJ's Mexican. What do you mean?
No, I'm not. I'm German, Italian, and Irish.
All the bad guys.
Nazi.
All the bad guys.
Wait, how are the Irish the bad guy? You know what? Never mind.
Ask the British. Ask them about Bloody Sunday, and they'll tell you
you
why
must
the
be
Irish
British.
are the bad guys. I'm actually part British, but I like 15%.
Part of the bad guys.
Oh, you're un-American. German,
Yeah.
British.
Shut up.
1776.
Nazi,
bitch.
he's a
Fuck outta here.
communist.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, so sorry,
But yeah,
Ethan.
keep going. I got
Yeah.
Kettle Marte on my second. Third, I have Jose Ramirez and Alec Boehm. For shortstop, I have Gunder Henderson and Mookie Betts.
Gunder Henderson.
Gunder Henderson. What did I
Yeah,
say?
keep saying it like that, and watch the look on Hunter's face. Watch his face go from like white to red.
That was like my fucking my Pookie, not in front of my Pookie bear.
I'll take out my chew and I'll Gunder Henderson.
I mean, he is from Montgomery, Alabama, so
Yeah.
You could tell by his last name.
Look at me. That's the one name I can say right. Okay. And for catchers, I have Adley Ruskman.
Yes.
William-
Oh my.
Yes.
his RBI. I mean, come on. Like we're playing Moneyball right now. Okay, we're looking for the best stats. We're looking for the best, greatest amount of runs in. Okay, and he's gonna be the guy.
You should have picked Reese Hoskins.
No.
No.
Stop with fucking Reese Hoskins.
And then I have William Countrez. For my outfielders in the American League, I got Judge, Kawin, Soto. In the National League, I have Hernandez, Profor, and Yelich. Yeah, that's
There
how
you go.
say it.
He said
Ian,
no.
Ethan, I love you like a brother. I would just pay you so much money to go to a professional baseball game and have you try to read off all the batters' names on national
Dude, here's what-
television.
This is making
Oh
it
my
fun.
god, that'd be great.
Daniel Vogelbach.
I've never heard somebody pronounce Contreras' name Contreras ever. That was
or
like,
or
'cause-
Stephen Kawan.
Hey, what kind of Contreras are you from?
Well, it's
Christian
funny
Yelich
because,
Here's
like,
what-
so
Verland.
Hey, I'm not okay. I'm deeply offended. I have dyslexia and ADHD. Okay, you're making fun of a disabled
We
person.
can
right now.
tell.
And
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
I'll be ableist on this channel.
Well, to be fair, I like to piss off Hunter. I'll just pronounce like
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh.
you try that.
like Shohei Utini.
No, unironically, you said Shohei, and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?
Show
What
high.
fucking words did you just
Here,
came out of
I'll
your mouth?"
show my eye. Shohei.
It's funny to
Might as
piss
well
off
just
Hunter,
name
like, 'cause
it
all I
after,
gotta do is say a
fucking
baseball
Shanghai.
player's name wrong, and if it's a Baltimore Oriole you pronounce wrong, oh my god, you can watch Hunter go from good person to dick in a matter of seconds. Like
Well,
the
like,
minute you said
Anthony
Adley,
like
after you said Adley and you paused, dude, I wanted to clap. Like that was like I know
just sat
you did
there
not
and just
intend
listened.
that,
I was like,
but
let's just hear how bad
perfect.
this pronunciation is.
It was the best. Oh my god, like oh my god, that was awesome. But okay, so sorry, Ethan, you finish up.
Yeah, and then my designator hitters, I have Alvarez and Otani.
Yeah, you should have put you should have pulled Otani and put Reese Hoskins because Reese Hoskins doesn't bet on baseball games.
You're pissing me off, AJ. I swear.
Listen, it doesn't matter if he hasn't played in a month, okay? He belongs to the All-Star team.
Even
Okay.
Ian Ian agreed with me.
I don't care. I'll put
He
Ronald
played this
Acuna Jr. on
weekend,
the
but
fucking
he's been
All-Star
in and out
team.
of the lineup for a
Ronald
month
Acuna,
now.
you know what? I should have written in Ronald Acuna Jr. for my designated hitter.
Okay, I get it. There's a lot of Brewers that'll probably be in the All-Star game, but not Reese Hoskins.
Every team at least gets one, but they'll probably get reserves. Like I feel like Joey Ortiz deserves it.
He's injured.
Or Shohei.
Freddie Peralta will.
Freddie Peralta will probably be one of the pitchers.
Yeah.
Um,
And Colin
okay.
Ray to go.
Who?
Colin Ray. You don't know?
Asked.
You don't know who Colin Ray is?
No,
Come on.
I'm kidding. I know he's a pitcher for the Brewers. Because Ian's got him, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't Ian? No, I don't think Ian has him. I think Will Patera does, but Will Patera.
Ian, you should just pick up all Brewers players now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
should.
know, for real,
Unironically, you
dude.
should just have an entire Brewers lineup except for catcher. I'm keeping
Yeah, I mean-
Contreras.
Oh no shit.
We're
You would
3-11 anyway.
pick up
You're
Kyle
3-11. Your season is not worth saving anymore. You're focused on football while everybody lets me win the fantasy baseball
Yep.
trophy. I understand.
No, that ain't happening.
Well,
No,
go
no,
John.
no. I guys, I understand totally. It's like I deserved it.
Although I
I
hope
have
you
the
do
best
not win this
team.
show.
I score more points
Go
than all of you.
drown in fire.
Oh, well, I do have the best team though in the entire league. I mean, Hunter, you know this personally, right? 300 to what was it? 324 to 170 to 172. Yeah, that's right. That's what the final. No, it's actually 150. It's even worse than that.
No, it's 170 something.
Oh.
Yeah, because Wyatt Langford decided to go fucking Big Dick Daddy on my team. So
what's that meme? The Chris Paul shoots a 3-pointer to
Is this
bring the
the
deficit
dagger?
down to 40.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what that is.
No, yeah, now you're only down 33.
even though it was actually the opposite.
He went 4 for 5 with a
It's kind of how a
he had
cycle works, buddy.
10.
Hey, Ian,
Oh my god.
gonna trade me Aaron Judge?
What?
Is that the first guy to hit
No,
the
he's not
cycle
gonna
all
fucking
year?
do anything because he won't give me fucking Corbin Burns. God
I
damn
said
it!
you trying to give me Aaron Judge?
You want Aaron Judge and Corbin Burns?
I will quit. I will quit.
No, that's not.
I will veto that trade so fast. You have no idea. As the league, as the head of the league, I
No,
would
we're
veto
not-
that trade
we're
into
not.
oblivion.
No, we're not doing that. That's not fair.
Yeah, because I gotta work on being assertive over 14 people for football.
Ian, would you
because, my
trade
God.
Stephen Kwan? I kind of want him.
Make me an offer.
I'll trade you, the GOAT, Seiya Suzuki or something.
No,
If
if
you
you
force the
no,
rest of the month,
he
Logan, I'll give
sucks.
you Stevie
He
Kwan.
sucks. Do not trade him for Quan. He sucks. I traded him when he was good, and now he sucks. So do yourself a favor, Ian. I know your team is shit. At least you still are you're not mathematically eliminated yet.
No,
but I
I'm
give it 2
mathematically
weeks.
eliminated.
No, only Will Patera is.
No, I'm practically eliminated.
I'll
Same
give
thing.
you
No, you're
Mookie
not.
Betts, Ian. I'm just kidding.
You know my rule. If at first you don't succeed, just give up.
Yes.
The Republican way.
A Husker fan way.
Yep.
No, Husker fans do not give up. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I am
yeah,
the poster child for Husker fans.
No,
We are
I give
loud and
up.
in your face unless Scott Frost is our coach, in which case it's
Oh my god.
silently give up and don't tell nobody because it's worse to admit it in public.
I am the one who gives up.
Okay, so then now let's do Logan because he's the last person to have one. Because Ian definitely did not do one because Ian would just pick Brewers up and down the board. Actually, fun fact: Ian was the one that told me to pick Rhys Hoskins.
What?
Can
No,
you
I said
not
to take
read?
him off.
No, I
I said
can't.
to
I
take him
was
off because he didn't play.
No, Ian actually told me to pick Rhys Hoskins.
All right.
So
That is
if
not
any of you
true.
are offended by my Rhys Hoskins pick, Ian also told me that he and Jordan Love kissed behind the bleachers. So
Yeah, I do that.
All right.
How
So
could you, AJ? That's a private moment.
It's
mean,
a threesome with Aaron Rodgers. You're misleading us.
so
Okay, Logan.
my first base was Vladimir Guerrero and Bryce Harper. I was debating on Mountcastle, but how good Vladdy's been doing as of late, I think he deserves it.
I fear
I
that
agree.
something's wrong with Mountie. He was scratched from the lineup, even though he has like a 850 OPS against lefties. Not like it
Yeah, I
would matter.
noticed that. That was funny. I mean, it didn't matter to me because I still kicked your ass 10 ways to Tuesday. So
Then second base,
Here it comes up again.
second base Altuve, and then I had Luis Arias. He's a hitting machine. He's hitting over 300, like I think it's like 312 or something. And then Jose Ramirez and then Alec Boehm. Both guys are kind of on a tear, have good OPS. Not dumb like AJ, not pick an MVP candidate like Jose Ramirez. Then
sorry.
Then Gunnar Henderson, I think that speaks for itself. 26 homers in the first half. Insane.
Future home run derby champ, Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
That'll be
Then
fun to watch.
probably AL MVP unless it's Aaron Judge, but then Trey Turner I had at short. But I could see Ellie De La Cruz like AJ's picked. I don't know. The shortstop's kind of up since Mookie got injured.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, technically, Mookie Betts is probably going to win the voting because I think voting started before he got
Yeah.
hurt, right? So,
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
he'll be the one that it's going to be a matter of whoever got the second most because he's hurt.
And
So
then
take
I had Aaron Judge. That's a lock. Then I had Aaron Judge, Stephen Kwan, and Juan Soto in the outfield for the AL. Then I had Profar, then Tatis and Yelich. Obviously, Profar's on a tear. Tatis is injured, but he'll be back by All-Star break. And then
Yeah.
Yelich is hitting way better, kind of going back to his MVP years. And then catching Adley Rutschman, the GOAT, best AL catcher. And then William Contreras. He was hitting over 300 for a while. He almost he has over 100 hit, or he almost has 100 hits.
Yes,
And
he does.
I think he already has them, and then his OPS is insane. And then Jordan, and then Shohei, who has been hitting a homer every single game.
It's pronounced Shoei.
Okay, buddy.
Drown.
And then Kyle Hendricks for pitching, he deserves it.
He is batting practice.
And then
Wait,
Hector
when you got to do pitching?
No.
I was just saying it at the
Pitching
gym.
is-
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I wish that I would have shot it. You know who I would have put? I would have put Ethan Graham in for the All-Star
pitching
All-Star
is
voting.
I think it's either like, I think the league either votes on it or players vote on it.
I hope
they're
Paul
like, let's
Skeens
pick the
gets-
easiest pitchers to hit off of. Like, let's
I hope
pick.
Paul Skeens gets in it.
I hope so too, because he
He would to pitch him the entire game and he strikes out everyone. Not
that'd be
fair.
funny. Also, I would like it if people stopped referring to him as Livy Dune's boyfriend when he probably is going to be in the Hall of Fame if this continues.
Oh,
Like
unless his arm gets fucking blown out.
yeah, maybe we'll have to see. But
I control pitchers.
yeah, I like these lists. I think the only one that I was surprised with was Hunter. I'm surprised. I genuinely am surprised Hunter just didn't put in the AL section, just draw the Orioles logo and then go, okay, on to the National League.
Well, Santander is definitely a candidate for DH at least.
He won't be a DH, but he's the hottest
He's
hitter
in
in June
reserve,
right now.
there's no doubt.
No,
but
he's not the
he might
hottest
be
hitter in the league right
reserve.
now.
He's one
India
of.
is.
He is
India
one of the
is.
hottest in the AL right now.
In the AL, okay, yeah. In the NL,
That's
it's
Vladdy.
Jonathan India right now.
He has 13 home runs this month.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
Jonathan
like-
India has a batting average over 500 over the last month.
The Orioles have over 50 home runs in the month of June. Like,
They have
Yeah, that's
60.
fine, but I'm talking about an individual player, not an entire team.
I know, but Santander has
13 this month.
yeah.
Well, yeah, he's good, but I think that I still think 2 Orioles is enough, especially.
I think that if there's one other player that could get,
That's
I think it should be 3. I think Mounty's been better than Vladdy. It's just been Vladdy's been on a tear recently, but I think over the year, Mounty's been better.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Vladdy was struggling, but
And then if it wasn't for the fact that Jordan Alvarez is one of the scariest hitters in baseball, I think Ryan O'Hearn deserves it.
Yeah. And then okay, so I will so we will put this end this on this, but is there anybody who is there anybody that was upset by anyone's lists out of curiosity? Anyone who's like, I'm deeply offended by your pick?
I mean, I'm not offended, but like
I'm not
your list
offended,
kind
but
of
the Jose
sucks. A couple of players
Jose
on your
Ramirez.
list kind of sucks.
Which
yeah.
ones?
David Fry, Tyler O'Neill, Matt Vierling, Jonathan India, Luis Rengifo.
India does not deserve it over Ketel Marte or Luis Arias.
He's batting 500 over the last month and a half. Yes, he does.
Yeah, it's the first half of the season, not just this
Luis
month.
Arias is hitting 300 this year alone.
I think it's
but I
it
think
was like
I
340 a
personally,
while ago.
based on what I've seen, Jonathan India is not only he's one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now.
Yeah, I know,
And,
but
like
That's
he may not be
because-
hitting piss missiles all over the place, but he gets on base. I think he deserves the spot. I genuinely do. Rengifo, I honestly think he's a pretty underrated player who's gonna get traded to somewhere like I don't know where. I've heard a ton of names, but he's gonna be a
player.
he'll be much
so-
more of a household name once he goes somewhere that's not the fucking Angels. But
The Milwaukee Brewers.
The Brewers do need a guy that could play because they have a lot of injuries right now.
they do, and he can play like 5 positions. But I'll say this: my list like I mean, the people who are going to watch this aren't going to know this, but like my first list, like I like it felt like the levees had broken. Like, oh my god, like everybody was so pissed off by what I
The
put in
only
there.
the only All Star the Tigers are going to get is Tarek Skubal. That's the only guy they're going to get.
I Verling also, he's been doing pretty well. Like I gotta admit, like I've been paying attention to a lot of these other guys, and that's why I picked him. Is because I was like, you know what, he's been doing pretty well. He's probably not gonna get the spot, but I liked how well he's been doing the last few months, and I thought he deserved the spot. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I just pulled these names out of a hat. Like I've been watching. I watch a lot of these guys because in our league, I pick up guys pretty much on the regular. If any of you get updates from ESPN whenever somebody picks up and drops somebody, you fucking know that I do that like on a weekly basis with some of my hitters. But okay. So anybody have any other burning final thoughts on the All-Star before we head into the NFC South? Going once, going twice.
I definitely hold on. I definitely think there is some underrated guys like in the NL. I think Willie Adames, he's pretty underrated. He'll be a bench. I definitely think Westberg in the AL, he's definitely kind of underrated. I think he'll be a reserve.
He deserves to be a reserve. He's had an incredible year, and
there's a lot of good pitching. Like in the NL,
obviously
it's gonna be a lot of the younger guys.
We won't know pitching until I think like 2 weeks before the All-Star game. They get something
I
like that.
definitely think that there will be like a pitcher for like almost every single team in the NL, besides maybe like the Nationals or the Rockies. Because the NL, each team has a pretty good starting pitching. So
Yeah.
The Braves, they're always stacked, so they'll probably get like a bunch of pitchers.
And we'll still lose in the first round of the fucking wild card.
Not if you play the Brewers.
If we play the Brewers,
by
for
that
certain
luck,
lose.
you'll go on to win the World Series like everybody else who beats us in the playoff does.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Fact.
Everybody.
That is true.
Yep.
I picked the Brewers to go to the World Series in the NL right now.
Yeah, well, they're definitely gonna be the 2 seed because I think the Dodgers will lock the 1.
Oh, of course. Man, once
Mookie comes back and after the trade deadline, the Dodgers are gonna be the best team.
Yeah. I think the Dodgers are probably gonna get Luis Robert.
Oh. All right. Okay, so why don't we head on over to the NFC South here? So now everybody, I don't know if the rest of you did your individual, like looking at each of the teams and looking at their schedules. I did for this week because I really wanted to see if I could piss off Ian as much as humanly possible. And my goal when I sat down this week was, can I shit on Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because Ian and I, whenever we talk on the phone, one of the lovely things I like to do to Ian is I like to piss him off. Like I'll say, like, you know what, fuck Baker Mayfield, he's a shitty quarterback. And then it's funny to hear Ian very clearly, like you can hear him foaming at the mouth on the other line. And so I gotta be honest though, I don't think they're gonna be all that bad this year. But I'm going to find a way to shit on them as much as possible. So here we go. So I have, in order, I have the Atlanta Falcons, number 1 with a 13-4 record. Then I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 9-8. And then the New Orleans Saints at 7-10. And then the Carolina Panthers at 2-15.
No. The Falcons?
Yeah.
The Falcons, what? 13-4?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna save my analysis on that for when my time to talk about my division predictions comes. But
yeah, save it, Ian.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen. I gotta be honest. I feel pretty confident actually in that selection. So we will have to see. But I went out of my way to write down Carolina 2-15. I put the only wins they'll get are against Denver and the Commanders. So those are the only 2 wins I have marked down.
The Panthers go
the
2-15 back-to-back years.
Oh hell yeah! Are you kidding me? Their owner sucks and they barely improved much. Rumor has it they're going to cut Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
I mean, they did just draft a
he
new
kinda
running
sucked.
back, and they have Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah,
And
so
they
like
did improve the O line.
yes, but I seriously do not see them winning more than 2 games.
You said, well, yeah, they did kind of improve. They barely improved the offensive line, though.
Well, they drafted at it. Then they
And they got that guard from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They also improved the offense a little bit. They got Xavier Leggett and what they drafted that one running back. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
They got Deontay Johnson.
yeah, they did.
Johnson.
All right, so Ethan, why don't you drop your prediction on us?
Okay. I definitely 100% do not agree with the Falcons doing anything. They're most likely. My prediction was going to be. I just did their wins. They're only going to win 5 games at most, 5-6 games.
Ooh,
like the
okay.
Falcons are not. They're relying on Kirk Cousins so hard, and he is not it anymore. He's old. He's coming off of that ACL. Was it ACL or Achilles?
Yeah.
Bruise, was it? Whatever.
Tear.
Or injury. Achilles injury. Right? So who do they have?
Bijan,
really.
Drake London,
and
Darnell Mooney.
Kyle Pitts.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just not saying they're going to get them there. Right.
That's fair. That's a fair statement. I personally think 5 wins is a little harsh because I think that they've got the roster to like. I picked 13-4 for a reason. I like this will be like a Minnesota Vikings situation for me, like 2 years ago, because Minnesota finished with a decent record, but they weren't like the best team in the NFL. They had a pretty reasonable schedule and they were a pretty solid team. It's just that like when it came to like they just weren't beating the 49ers, Eagles, or Cowboys.
Where did Brian Burns go? Did he go to the
Giants?
Okay. I thought the Panthers had him still.
Oh, wait, sorry, Ethan. Sorry, Ethan, you finish your rankings, though. I'm so sorry. We cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. So after the Falcons, I have Tampa Bay around that same line. I think they're going to do just all right again. And I just have them around that 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah, that's decent.
The Saints, I enjoy the Saints, and I think they have they have some really good players. The problem is just they're like the way the team's set up. They're really like strapped for cash, and they're not getting the change that they need. So I have them at their same record they had last year. What was it?
It's right here on the screen, Ethan. 9-8.
Yeah, 9-8.
This is from last year.
Yeah, I have them for their same record. Not really much improvement. Not much change went on at all. But I mean, Derek Carr is I would say he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He just doesn't have the support he needs to get there to be like the best.
Yeah, I mean the Raiders really screwed him.
And I mean, you also look at their offensive line. Like if Carr had like one more second on that line to make decisions, I think he'd do phenomenal. I mean, he has 3,878 yards. I mean, with the shit line that he had last year, he's a pretty good quarterback. He just needs the support. If he had a team like and I know you're gonna
San
hate this,
Francisco.
but yeah, I was gonna say if he had a team like San Francisco, if he had a team like if you took him and put him on the Philadelphia Eagles, like I think he would do phenomenal. And
Yeah, I
really
mean, he is
become.
a good quarterback, but like not everybody can step into Philly and make that situation work. I mean, we saw that.
I know
when
you're
Jalen got
gonna
hurt.
feel that way because you're a Philly fan. I know you're gonna feel
No,
that way.
I mean,
That's
listen,
how
Gardner Minshew was not able to didn't win a single game with that stacked roster and with that offensive line. So I'm just saying, not anybody can just step in. But I do agree with you that if Derek Carr was dropped into Philly, he would do pretty good because he's a good quarterback.
Oh, dude, Ian,
Yeah.
pause for a sec. The Falcons have Kevin King.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna get to that.
Okay, so Ethan, keep going, finish up your prediction.
And then the Panthers, I actually have them at 2 wins as well. They're gonna do shit like they did last year.
I agree. They have a tough schedule too, which doesn't help
Damn
things.
it, the Bears don't have their pick anymore. What the hell?
Yeah, because you guys so need it, right?
We do. We need to take Quentin Ewers next year.
So that way, when Caleb Williams inevitably fails, you guys can go out and scramble for Shador Sanders.
Go fuck yourself, AJ.
Oh boy, I can't wait for the Chicago Bears to throw another quarterback under the bus. Actually, it's not our fault. It's Caleb's fault. Hey, Shador, come on in. We know you could barely beat Nebraska, but why don't you come on and try it and beat the Packers?
I think one of my favorite memes I saw from draft season
Ian would
was
have a heyday
never.
with that.
I've never seen Bears fans more excited to pick a quarterback since taking Justin Fields.
That's a
If we
fact.
pick-
though. That is a
If we
fact.
pick Shador Sanders, I would kill myself. Like
Hey,
I
that
almost
means Deion Sanders will be your coach. So at least you guys,
Oh
at least
my
people will give a shit.
God.
At least people will give a shit about you for a couple of years.
You're ruining his fandom.
You're ruining my life, AJ.
All right, and then okay, so also we'll get to this after everyone's ranking. But Ethan, I don't remember if I got to mention, but after we do all of our rankings, we pick either one person from each team or one person from the division as a fantasy sleeper. So keep that in the back of your mind as we talk about these. But Hunter, why don't you take the lead? We'll have Ian go last because I have a feeling Ian's gonna have a fucking field day with whatever I said.
All right.
It's
So it's kind of the same. I've got Atlanta number 1. I don't think they're going to do that good. I think they're maybe going to do like 10, 11 wins. I think the Bucks come in second. I think they'll get 8 or 9. Saints will probably be like 6 or 7, and then Panthers 2 to 4. I don't think they're gonna do anything. They upgraded, so they're probably gonna have more than 2 wins, but not many more than 2.
Well, I think that's pretty reasonable also, and I like the Hunters on the same page as me with the Falcons because I feel like the Falcons like, and by the way, everybody, I base the Falcons like record like I don't think they're gonna light the world on fire. Their schedule's just pretty reasonable.
AJ, just wait to my predictions.
Yeah, they have a third place schedule, so it's not.
No, I agree. I agree with AJ on the Falcons, but I'll explain.
I don't think they're going to get to 13. One of my biggest things on them is I feel like one of the things that had Kirk Cousins playing the way that he was our head coach, and I think it's going to be kind of hard for him to replicate it outside because he was somewhat of a middle pack to slightly above average with the commies.
I feel like you're putting a lot of faith in that Vikings head coaching staff when the Vikings couldn't beat that same coaching staff couldn't beat the Giants.
It wasn't the offense's fault.
Well, but like, but
It
that's
was Ed Donatel having a poverty defense and didn't know what the fuck to do, saying that
it's still,
giving up yards didn't matter when they gave up 350 yards a game.
I mean, like, because it's not like the Giants were all that good either. Because then they came to Philly and we absolutely stomped on their dicks. So I feel like Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, and I feel like it's a little and I know because you're a Vikings fan, like because you do respect Cousins. Like, I'm not trying to insinuate
Of
that you
course,
don't.
I don't. I'm not gonna call him complete ass or anything, but I think that what made him top 12 to 10 quarterback was how well Kevin O'Connell propped him up.
I mean, but like you could also make that case for like before Tom Brady left for Tampa Bay, you could have made it a case of like, well, Tom Brady only worked because of Bill Belichick's defense. And because Bill Belichick's defenses were so good, it made it so that way Tom Brady, like like they would win big games because they had such a good defense and their offense, didn't like it, like because it's kind of like the Broncos in like the late '90s, early 2000s, like their defense. Oh no, sorry, because that's the Ravens. My bad. The one that Shannon Sharp played on. Like their defense was so good, their offense could have put up like one touchdown, and they'd still win. They probably would have still gone undefeated most years with that defensive squad. So like I think like the Falcons are going to be a very offensive heavy, and I think even though it was a stupid ass pick, I think Michael Penix Jr. really kind of reinforces my pick because of like just mostly because like they've got two solid quarterbacks, they've got a solid offense. They're probably going to actually use Bijan Robinson. Like, and just looking at the schedule right here, I'm looking at all four of the losses. Like they're not beating Philly. I can tell you that straight up. Nor are they beating the fucking Chiefs. The Cowboys, I had them winning though, because I think any competent run game will beat the Cowboys. But sorry, Logan. We'll have you. We'll have Logan go next. Why don't you explain your your rankings?
So I do have the Falcons winning the division at 11-6, but I see a lack of at the wideout position for the Falcons besides London, Bijan, and Pitts. They really have no wide receiver besides London. They got Darnell Mooney and they have Rondell Moore, but neither of those guys have shown like to be big production guys. But I definitely think Kirk Cousins, he does well with wide receivers. Like he managed like with just like he had Justin Jefferson obviously and KJ Osborne and then Addison this year, but you just need average wide receivers with Kirk Cousins. So I think, like you said, with their schedule, I just looked at it. It looks very winnable. Then Tampa Bay close. I could see them going like 10-7, 9-8. I think Baker will have another good year. My only issue with them is their offensive line lacks very heavily, but they did pick up a guy from the Eagles, and their worst is going to be healthy. I think he got injured last year or whatever.
Guy for the Eagles?
No, Tristan Wirfs for their
Oh,
attack.
okay.
And then their secondary is absolutely atrocious. They lost a lot of guys in their secondary. They have Dean still, and I think the guy they drafted out of Minnesota but their corner is very lack, and their up front is what posed. But Todd Bowles is a good defensive coach, so I think they would be average, like 10, 7, 9, 8. Then the Saints, I don't know. They lack at like almost every position, and I just don't see them being better than what they were last year. So like 7-10 probably. And then the Carolina like 2-15 or 3-14. I looked at their team. They're dog shit.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I thought they had Brian Burns, but their defense is absolutely atrocious. They don't have anyone besides
Hmm.
their D tackle they drafted in the first round. Like, this offensive line did not really improve. And Bryce Young, this is the year Bryce Young's gonna really have to take a step ahead. So
Which is going to be borderline impossible.
yeah, which I can't blame him, but I think Baker and Kirk just are way better than any of the other quarterbacks in that division. So
Yeah, I think Baker is well. But Will, why don't you give us yours?
Uh,
Oh,
well, I'm gonna put rhyme over reason right now. I'm actually gonna agree with you guys and put the Saints, or not the Saints, the Falcons in first. Then I'm gonna put Tampa Bay slightly underneath them in second, mainly because the two of them, I'm just putting a little bit of more stats over faith and just going with the Falcons on top, the Saints in third, and the Panthers in fourth. That's all I got.
All
Nothing
right.
interesting, so.
All right, Ian. Time to preach, boy.
All right. So in first, I have the Falcons also. I wish that they would have spent more on the roster and building up that atrocious defensive line and lack of pass rush that they had last year. They were dead last year in pass rush. So I really wish they would have, tried to go for like Brian Branch or someone in the draft or Jared Verse from Florida State. Who was right there, or Dallas Turner. But anyway, I wish they would have gone with pass rush, which was what they were really lacking last year, and they're still lacking now because they still didn't make any moves there. So that's my concern about them. However, they had Kirk Cousins. I'm a big fan of Kirk Cousins. I think he's a top 10, 12 quarterback. He has been for a while. I love what they have around him with Bijan, and they'll use him more. And then you have Drake London and Kyle Pitts now, and also with Raheem Morris now as head coach there with Arthur Smith being fired. Thank God. I really like what he brings. I'm excited to see what they do, and Kirk has a lot of young weapons to work with, so I'm excited to see what they can do there. Um, I'm just scared of what the defense will allow, specifically the defensive line could allow to have done to them. At second, I have the Buccaneers at 9-8. Vegas has them at 7.5, so I'm going the over on the Bucks. So they re-signed Mike Evans, re-upped him, re-upped Antoine Winfield. And then they also re-signed Levante David. However, they traded their best corner in Carlton Davis, who's now with the Lions. And that secondary was already atrocious. So I'm very concerned about that. They were near the bottom of defense last year. What kept them in games and winning a lot of one possession games was really Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. And Baker having 32 touchdowns last year. That was what kept him in a lot of games and winning those close games. And then, about the Buccaneers also, we need to, let's pull up the Buccaneers schedule quick if you can pull up the Buccaneers schedule there.
Bay Buccaneers, otherwise known as Baker Mayfield.
Oh, they
sucks.
play the Commanders the first game. Oh my god!
Yeah, they're
Lucky bastards.
I know, right? I wish I could play. I wish the Eagles could play the Commanders every single week.
Mr. Seymour, before this goes into an angry tangent, do you mind if I sneak out of here quickly?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I will see you guys next week. I gotta get out of here.
See you, Will.
All right, see you. Peace,
Yeah.
Will.
See ya.
All right, Ian.
Okay, so with the Buccaneers there, so where it starts there on the can you go back down a little bit, like after the Ravens game?
Yeah, I just turned my volume down.
Okay, yeah, pause right there. Okay, so here's my concern for the Buccaneers is where their schedule might go off the rails. And here's where I'm concerned about them is the stretch about the Ravens on the road. Then you got Atlanta on the road, Kansas City, although it's at home, but I mean, still, facing Kansas City, and then you're at San Francisco. I mean, that is an absolutely brutal stretch, and I can very easily see 0-4, especially with that
The
defense.
first 4 games, though.
The
Eagles and the Lions too.
First 4 games, I think they lose to the Eagles. They'll beat the Commanders, and I think they'll beat the Saints. And then I think after that San Francisco game, I think they get back on track. What about 4? Well, I think they can win. So they'll beat the Giants. They'll beat Carolina, beat Las Vegas. I think they beat LA there. And they could beat Dallas there at home, although I'm, again, very concerned about that secondary and CD Lamb and Dak Prescott, what they can do.
Assuming CD Lamb is still in Dallas.
He'll be in Dallas.
He is. The thing is,
they're not signing anybody, so I'm just saying the question is up there.
And then I think they'll beat the Panthers and the Saints there at the end. So I do see 9-8. But yeah, that's some of my concerns there is just on that defense. And then also another thing about the Buccaneers is they do lose Dave Canales, who was their OC. Guy is a quarterback mastermind, and now he is the head coach in Carolina. So we'll see what he can do with Bryce Young. But yeah, at second place, I have the Buccaneers at 9-8, just below the Falcons. And there's it's like weeks 7 through 10 there. I think is where the Falcons have it easier, and the Buccaneers have it significantly harder. And that's where I think the Falcons secure the division. There is week 7 through 10, where I think.
What about the Saints?
Yeah, so that one. Let's pull up their schedule here because I'm gonna.
Well, I kind of try to keep it a little quick.
Okay, so those first 7 games. Yeah, I mean, absolutely brutal first 7 games here. Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Yeah, I mean, I think, and then what's after Denver there? Yeah, Chargers. I mean, I think that they could start 1-5. And
that's
then
kind of what
at
I
that
had.
point, when you're 1-5, and they have an aging roster, they weren't able to do much with it. And we don't know what Derek Carr's going to show up. I mean, if they're starting 1-5 there, with how difficult that schedule is at times, I mean, then it's just kind of the countdown to when Spencer Rattler starts, because I don't see how Derek Carr can survive a 1-5 start, especially with what Derek Carr shows up. Yeah, I mean, that's an aging roster. That schedule at times, very worried about that. So I think they go 6-11.
All right. So now, what do we think about Carolina? They're obviously last place for you.
Carolina. I like Dave Canales. He's a quarterback whisperer. I still think Bryce Young has the potential, not ready to declare him a bust yet. So I think that Canales can do a lot of work with him, kind of retool his decision making last year. The schedule is easier, but again, with just the Panthers roster, it's tough to see. So I have them at 4-13 or 5-12. They add Xavier Legette. They improve the O line. And they also had Deontay Johnson, who's a solid wide receiver, 1 or 2. So I think they'll be significantly better than last year, just because they really can't be worse. And I think Dave Canal's going to be able to do a lot with Bryce Young and open up that offense more. But still, that defense, and there's just glaring holes still all over the roster. So I'm leaning 5-12. But yeah, there's still holes all over the roster.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now that we've all gone through our picks, here's what I kind of wanted to do. So I'm gonna throw out there. So we're gonna do our fantasy sleeper picks. I'm gonna make mine very quick because mine's very simple. Carolina's wide receivers. Pick one of the two of them. Doesn't matter who they are. We will look them up. Just so that way it's written down. But I'm just gonna say this right now. If you want to draft somebody late, that is look, because even though I have been winning 2 games, look, why fantasy football, like fantasy is not the same thing as regular football. The same as with baseball, same thing with football. Because in regular baseball, the money ball theory does not work. In fantasy baseball, the money ball theory does work. This is a primarily statistical thing, and all you have to do is look at Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen, and say to yourself, you know what, that could be a good flex option for you. Like, you get Deontay Johnson, because here's the thing: you'll be able to get him a little later than you think, and because nobody wants to draft a Panther. Like, it's almost like a cancer in a weird way. Like, nobody's gonna want Bryce Young. Nobody's gonna want, no one's clamoring for a Panthers receiver. So go out and get one, because they'll be available most likely. And if you pick Deontay Johnson or Adam Thielen, they'll get catches. You're not looking at AJ Brown numbers or JJ numbers, but you'll still get good flex option numbers out of these guys, because they'll still get touchdowns. Because again, Chuba Hubbard, correct me if I'm wrong, he's not the greatest running back in the world last time I checked, right?
He's pretty good, but I think that Jonathan Brooks will actually emerge as the starter.
Yeah.
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 So then that's why I think it's a good idea for a good flex option that no one will see coming, because you can kind of have them, you can kind of put them a little later on your draft board. Maybe you look at around 3 or 4, so you can still kind of get your main guys, and then you can just kind of grab them as a flex option, depending on whatever your draft strategies for the first few rounds is. But that's really all my sleepers, because I honestly think that that's a great option that no one's going to really consider. Why don't we go to Hunter next? So do you have one for each team, or are you doing one for the whole division?
I really only have it for 2, but I would say Xavier Leggett as one of those guys that nobody's really going to look at because he's the rookie there, but I think he has a really high upside for possibly even a flex at some point. But the next one is I know he's probably going to be seen higher up, but it's Drake London. I think he's going to break out this year.
That's also a fair one, but I'll challenge you on this. I would say I don't know if he's a sleeper, because I've seen him go in round 3 or round 2 of some drafts. So he's actually on my draft board, assuming he's still available in round 3, which I don't think he will be, because Kirk Cousins is he's a wide receivers quarterback. He's pretty solid. So Drake London, I think you're right. He's gonna have a breakout year. I think those are 2 good picks. I think I would just challenge that. I don't know if Drake London's a sleeper, but I think he is a good pick. So Ethan, what about you? Do you have one for each team, or do you have one for the whole division, or just one for a couple?
I have one for each team.
Ooh, okay.
So,
what's the first name?
My first one from the Atlantic Falcons is Tyler Algier.
Here,
Algier.
yeah,
Tyler
yeah,
Algier.
he's pretty good.
He's pretty good. I think.
How's
I
he
mean,
doing
he's
right
not in the top 100. So that's why I picked him.
No, you picked him because he went to BYU.
Hey, God's on his side. God's on his side. I think he's gonna no. But just statistically, he's a good flex option to get you that extra like 15 points. Like, and sometimes that extra, like, instead of the 10, if you get that extra 5 points, like, that could make or break your like week. And he's that guy, I think. And then I also have I have Adam Thielen from the Panthers.
Adam
I
Thielen.
have him as well.
Ethan, you are the best.
Thielen. I don't know how to spell his name.
Adam.
No,
Thielen.
it's fine. It's Thielen, but no, Ethan. Trust me, it's like because I like to do this bit with Hunter, just with baseball players, and it's just so funny. Because I'm not doing this on purpose.
Former Mankato wide receiver.
I'm surprised he didn't go to BYU. I thought Ethan would just pick
Minnesota man
BYU
himself.
players.
No, I'm picking good players.
You're telling me you're not going to pick Zach Wilson because he went to BYU for your fantasy team?
No, Zach Wilson sucks.
I don't know. I feel
God
like a
doesn't
real
love
Mormon.
All he does
Like
is
a-
throw bombs and bang moms. That's all he
Yeah,
does.
Milf Hunter.
He's a
Not
Mormon.
even. He can't even throw
Can't-
bombs.
He's Mormon. Can't do that.
Yeah, he can't even throw bombs. And then I have Kender Miller from the Saints.
How you spell that?
KenDreMiller.
Andre
Yeah, Keandre Miller.
Keandre Miller.
Andre Miller, yeah. TCU running back.
Which he hasn't put up the best stats. But as a sleeper, like, I can't pick the good players. I have to pick like the guy that might be good one day. I definitely wouldn't take him until like I ran out of options, you know. But I'd take my other three picks before my other three picks before I take him.
All right,
He
who
could
is
have
your
a
last
breakout
one?
year now with Clint Kubiak at OC. He could have a breakout year.
That is a good
That's
point. So
That
who's
is
your
true.
last guy?
Oh yeah, my Tampa Bay guy. Tampa Bay was kind of hard picking a sleeper because most of their players are pretty good. But if, like, again, you might not count him as a sleeper, but I had Chris Godwin.
You spelled Mayfield wrong, dumbass.
Facts.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
AJ, you don't even know how to spell. Go back to kindergarten.
I did it on purpose because I wanted to see if that would catch Hunter's opinion, catch Hunter's
Why
eye. But
is-
I also
Chase Brown, people also search for it. Why?
I don't know. I don't know who the fuck that is.
You don't know what Chase Brown is? He owned
I don't know who.
Nebraska.
Oh no, I don't know
Right for
everybody. I don't know
Illinois.
Listen, listen. Not everybody from Nebraska knows everybody from Nebraska. We're not a mom and pop
He's
state.
not. He owned Nebraska.
Oh, Tom Osborne. He used to sell me corn cobs down at the market on Friday nights.
Not the
Fucking
farmer's
Heinrich.
market.
Oh, that quarterback for Heinrich Harburg. I seen him at Arunza one day out there in Bennington.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did, AJ.
A Harburger.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw Harper Murray get her DUI too.
Okay. All right, Ethan. What's your last pick?
right.
Again, I can't really. My last pick is from the Tampa Bay, and it's hard to pick a sleeper from Tampa Bay because Like
Baker
you either got like
Mayfield.
really good guys or you just got like nothing.
Baker
There's no
Mayfield.
really in between, man. I think in Tampa Bay right now. So
Look, if you want nothing, there's always Baker Mayfield. I'm just saying.
yeah, no. But I went with Chris Godwin. Yeah, I know
That's fair.
higher up. He's higher up and you might not call that a sleeper, but I think like he might be a good like uh where is he at? I could see people picking him up in like the 5th round. Like if he's not picked up by the 4th round, I would pick him up myself.
That's fair. All right, those are some good picks. So Ian, we have not done you yet.
Yeah, so my like I don't really have one for each team, but
You can just do one if you want.
I have like two.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
the first one that I would have is Chris Olave with the Saints. He's finished within the top 25 of receiving yards and touchdowns both of the last 2 years. And I'm really looking for him now to finally have a total breakout year now in his 3rd year.
Fair enough. Who's next?
And him being the main target.
So wait, Ian, going back to that, like
Yeah.
Chris Olave, if he's your sleeper, what are you gonna pick him up in like the 2nd round then? Are you gonna pick him up 1st round pick? Like he is top 25 like overall.
Yeah. I'm thinking I mean I was hoping 3rd.
Well, I actually will say this much, that based on the mock drafts we've done for our league alone, I can tell you definitively Chris Olave will probably not go in the 1st round unless one of you is trying to reveal that now. I'm going to assume you
I'm
know.
just saying if people like went through like a computer and just picked 1 through 25, Chris Olave should be picked up in the 2nd round. Just purely based on stats. So if people are not picking him up by the 2nd round, like you have gotten yourself like a golden goose egg out of Chris Olave.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that because in all the mock drafts I've done, I don't think I've seen people take him in a full mock draft until like the 3rd or 4th round. Which again, maybe it's just maybe I'm just not in a mock draft with very smart people, but like I definitely have not got my eyes on Chris Olave this year, so I really haven't noticed. But I do notice like he goes in like the 3rd round, so I think Ian might be onto something here.
I mean, like I might take him in the 2nd round, Ethan, like you mentioned, because I think that he can have like a Jamar Chase or a CeeDee Lamb type of breakout year this year. I mean, I am really excited for what he can do, despite having question. I mean, my only question about Chris Olave fantasy wise is the quarterback situation and what that looks like if they get off to a rough start.
That's fair. All right, so who's your other guy?
Then it is Jonathan Brooks for the Panthers. He what was he?
Holy shit!
What?
So last year he averaged 6.3 yards per carry. He averaged 115 yards a game, and he was 3rd in college football in tackles broken. And I think that he'll probably be the running back 1 there for Carolina. I mean, Dave Canales made Rashad White for Tampa Bay, the wide receiver 1, and he was only averaging like 3 yards a carry. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, I'm excited for him. Think that he can have a good year, and I'm really excited about his potential and his agility to break tackles and get a ton of yards after contact.
Which I mean makes sense, and I think that's a good spot for us to end it here tonight. But it's next week. So that's the entire NFC, by the way. We're going to start next week on the AFC West, which should be pretty easy for us to do.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that.
yeah, like that'll be pretty easy to do. But so hopefully Ethan will be able to join us next week. It was good having you on this week. Ethan, everybody is in our he's in both our football and baseball league. He is he's so good with his team names because his team names in both is just Ethan. Uh, listen, it's simple. You know who you're playing every week, I guess. But
You also know who's
uh,
kicking your ass every week. So me.
I mean, I don't think you've ever beaten me in fantasy, neither. I feel like the only people who can say they've beaten me in fantasy undefeated is Logan here. And
Hunter,
he's only played me once.
me and you are
But
next week, buddy.
yes, indeed. But so we'll sign off for this week. Everybody, after stay around for just a couple minutes. We'll talk about something real quick. But this has been AJ. Here are my co-hosts Ethan, Ian, Logan, and Hunter. All right, we will see you next week.